Is it possible to amplify this youthful band of Kirtaniyas without any moving the whole hall? We can't hear.
Try to do it. It should be live here.
I'm sorry, some technical. My dear devotees, I welcome you to this class about the Kirtan zone, Hare Krishna, and would like to present something for your attention, which will facilitate your entering more into the secrets of the holy name. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radokshaye ahaitukya pratihata ayatma suprasidati Samparo dharmo yato bhakti radokshaye ahaitukya pratihata ayatma suprasidati. Because we have a little time, we will be a little brief in everything. The supreme occupation, karma, for all of humanity is that by which man can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. From the purport, we have purposefully denoted Dharma as occupation because the root meaning of the word dharma is that which sustains one's existence. A living being's sustenance of existence is to coordinate his activities with his eternal relation with the Supreme Lord Krishna. You need to coordinate your activities with your relation with Krishna. Krishna is the central pivot of all living beings. And he is the all-attractive living being, or eternal form, amongst all other living beings, or eternal forms. Each and every living being has his eternal form in the spiritual existence. And Krishna is the eternal attraction for all of them. Krishna is the complete whole, and everything else is his part and parcel. The relation is one of the servant and the served. It is transcendental, and it is completely distinct from our experience in material existence. Now please listen to how Prabhupada describes the relationship of Krishna, or to Krishna. It is one of these sentences which, for many readers of Prabhupada books, is one of these vakyas, these great sayings. This relation of servant and the served is the most congenial form of intimacy. Would you like to hear the sentence again for better comprehension? This relation of servant and the served is the most congenial form of intimacy. One can realize it as devotional service progresses. Everyone should engage himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, even in the present conditional state of material existence. That will gradually give one the clue to actual life and please him to complete satisfaction. In more simple words, everyone should start now with this Dharma, which means your occupational relationship with Krishna. You should enter into intimacy with Krishna. Even in the present conditional state of material existence. And this will gradually, step by step, polako, it will gradually give you a clue to your actual clue, or can also be sometimes translated as key to your actual life, and please beyond, or please you to complete satisfaction. This verse is from the first canto, chapter 2, and it is text 6. Jai Sri Ram. My dear devotees, this Dharma in this age of Kali has been described to be the Yuga Dharma of chanting the holy name. It is this which is the key to your actual eternal life in an intimate relationship with the Lord. How to use this key properly is something which is important to understand. Many have gotten this key but put it in the wrong hole. The door didn't open. It was an air refreshing hole in the door. It was not the right. Many have taken the key, thrown it away out of disappointment. Even when you have a key, you need to know how to use it. I have this modern key. And I'm highly incompetent in most of the areas of life. One is in entering an electric door. I went, first of all, the first thing was I went to the wrong house. I tried there, no response. Then I went to the right house, but I put it in the wrong way, no response. Then some kind soul helped me in opening the entrance door, but when I came to the door which is more private, this is my personal room where I have all my Krishna cookies, I again did a mistake because again I put it in this time it was all wet and there was a circuit, I don't know how it says, it goes like clang, everything stops. I had somehow drunken water that has fallen in something and it was in my case not working. So even to use a key, you need some knowledge. So, in order to apply the chanting of the holy name, some initial understanding of Sambandha and Abhideya is required, otherwise it won't work. This type of knowledge was revealed in the most moving way by Gauranga Mahaprabhu to Mukunda Datta, who is his eternal singer, who the eternal Kirtaniya, who comes with him wherever the Lord goes. We will hear about this, but we forgot something important. Let us please offer our obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavani Askatyaye Satarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jaya pastimes, there was a time where he revealed himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead for 21 long hours. All devotees came forward during this time to receive a transcendental gift for the Lord, from the Lord, who they had prayed for and cried for. To some of them, he showed their eternal spiritual identity. One was called forward and was shown that he is Hanuman in Ram Leela. Others were giving blessings. They asked the Lord, can you make my father favorable? He is against my joining this Sankirtan movement, which at that time was a very dangerous affair because the Muslim rulers were not in favor of Sanatan Dham's spreading and had draconic tortures ready for those who did, like they applied to Haridas Thakur. Can you protect our family in this time? And Mahaprabhu gave his blessings, the task to some he revealed their identities, others he gave the highest form of love on the spot, who fainted, like Kodaricha Sridhar. Others he just gave the blessings they asked for. It was a time of blessing. Only one devotee was excluded. This devotee was Mukunda. Who was Mukunda?
He was the main kirtan leader in Mahaprabhu's fledgling or developing movement. He had 2 occupations only. He was always doing kirtan and always listening to the Bhagavatam. His brother is Vasudev Datta, about whom Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had made a declaration which is so unbelievable that at the end of the declaration Mahaprabhu said, "Don't believe me, it is the fact what I have said." What Mahaprabhu felt for Vasudev Datta, the brother of Mukunda, is amazing. He said, "I am only Vasudev's man. My bare body is only meant to please Vasudev, and he can go and sell me anywhere." What he said, in other words, is, I'm the slave of Vasudev Datta. This is how Indradumna Maharaj sometimes likes to address his devotees. He says, "I'm your foot slave." He says like this in poetic ways, "I'm your slave. All rights soared away, all rights given to the wind. I'm your slave. You are a slave who will agree to everything you do with me." This is how Mahaprabhu talks about Vasudev Datta. 3 times he wrote, "Don't disbelieve me. I'm so close. It's so intimate, the relationship I have to this." But Mukunda, he sat during this time of blessing in a corner and cried and cried. He had no power to approach the Lord. Finally, Srivas Thakur, the host of the early Sankirtan nights, approached Mahaprabhu and said, "What is going on? Here's Mukunda. You're blessing everyone except for Mukunda. What aparad has Mukunda done?" And Mahaprabhu gave a very, very fierce answer. In Bengali, the direct translation from Bengali is a very heavy, it's a bad word. When you hear it in an American translation, you would smile, we have worse names. But he called him, Mukunda is the straw stick man. This is a bad word. When you call someone, you are a straw stick man. Very bad. He comes expressing humility by taking a straw in his mouth and then asks for my service. I'm your servant, I'm your servant. But then he turns around. He takes a lathi, a stick, in his hand and he beats me. He is a straw stick man. He says one thing in our assembly is Hare Krishna Hare Ram. And when he is out, he is somewhere else. If he is on his working place, no, he didn't say this, but I'm trying to relate it to your situation. When he is in another company, he speaks against bhakti. This is Mukunda. Mukunda had heard all this because the voice of the Lord didn't need any amplification. In his kirtans, millions of people danced, and there's no recorded information of a loudspeaker system. It was something else. It was spiritual. He heard it. When Srivas Thakur came to him to break the news that the Lord had fiercely stated, "I will not see this person," he had heard it already. He whispered to Srivas Thakur, "My life life is useless. What is the use of a body who cannot see Mahaprabhu? I will take this body in sacred suicide. There is no sacred suicide, but there is something like dying in the Ganga. Anyways, in the troubled time, we'll not mention this intense part of. So, I will commit suicide. But before I do it, before my life will leave this body, asked him one question. After how much time will I see him again? Srimad Thakur said, he's asking, when will he see you? Mahaprabhu became very intense. After 10 million births, the next thing will happen. What happened is, Mukunda, who was hiding slightly behind a wall, started jumping up and dancing and shouting, I will see! I will see again! And as he dances and shouts, tears of happy anticipation run down his face. When His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj talks about this pastime, he turns to his audience and says, are you also patient like this? If after some time you don't feel bliss in Krishna consciousness, you leave it. As Bhaktas we think, 2 weeks, then I'm a pure devotee, no problem. And then it doesn't happen, then yes, there are many things. So, I will see. When Mahaprabhu hears this, his very stern expression turns into a smile. And he says, bring him. Bring him immediately. Now, who was this Mukunda? What is some of his background information? We need to hear this because what will happen now will require all of your attention to understand. It is very, very deep. But you must know, Mukunda, the first time Mahaprabhu met Mukunda had come from his hometown called Chatia or Chankara. I believe it is somewhere in Bangladesh. He had come with a group of Bhaktas on a pilgrimage to Navadvip. Their goal was to sit at the banks of the Ganga and have a Kirtan and Bhagavatam program there. They avoided the busy places where the bathing ghats were and sat in a English word, in solitude, just for themselves. There was a small group, and they had brought a deity of Govinda Dev with them and performed a puja. Now, during this time, Mukunda Datta was singing. He was the kirtan man. He must have sang a melody like we have prepared for you. It is something like this. Hare Krishna.